All right. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Yes, we've moved to the morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, we're just gonna go with a more flexible schedule now. I don't know if I'm gonna really do a set time. I'm still gonna try to do live streams every day, but trying to like have it at like 12:30 every day. Things come up, and then I'm kind of I'm in a weird spot with it. So I know it's not the best, but I'm just gonna try to do them every day, probably in the mornings now, just because it's gonna make it easier, because then I know I have the rest of the day that I can just fill up with other things, so I kind of not get this out of the way, but like I'm usually a little more free in the mornings, and then I don't have to worry about anything else, coming out of nowhere in the middle of the day that has to take precedence over the live stream. Hello, good morning. So I'm shooting short this morning because this week I am working on the tension in my top finger. I let it not keep the tension. Now I lose tension in the top finger, and then it causes me to do, not really. It causes me to do inconsistent things in my shot. So me and my coach are working on, my consistency, and one of this, not holding this top finger nice and tight and consistent, and not letting it relax when I get back to my face. He said that it's going to really increase the consistency of my shots. The shots already do feel better, but I'm shooting close because I'm not the best at it. And playing with like finger tension and something like, and how the strings really coming off the fingers, I really don't want to mess with that at 70 meters. So we're shooting shorter, just so that I can work on the whole form of it before taking it back to 70 at some point very soon. Bow's still dropping pretty good in the front as well. We're no longer focused on that. I'm doing all right with it. So now it's more important that I work on my my finger, because it's going to get me more consistency. Also, another interesting thing that was happening with my finger relaxing is that it would cause my hand to just kind of come out because I was in a, basically I was physically releasing the string without really being aware of it, because for all these years I just oh, that's just how you shoot, and there wasn't really, I wasn't really given good instruction on, no, like, that's just a bad habit, you need to work on fixing this. So now that I'm holding this top finger tighter, the shots do feel more consistent and more repeatable. And I haven't shot 70 with it, but I'm sure I'm gonna start getting some really good results with it more consistently. Like, I was shooting high ends before. I would shoot 55 plus without a problem, but it wasn't every end, and it wasn't consistent, especially at tournaments. So I want to really get to the point where every end is, somewhere around like a 55, 56, in that area, instead of having, oh, one end's a 56, but then the next end's like a 49, 50. That's not helpful for, they're both not bad ends, but it's not helpful for what I'm trying to do, because I need to shoot those mid 50s scores in order to get where I want to go. And then, all right, so that was the last arrow. Huh. So, you were talking about like win and win limbs, or I guess you just mean technically limbs in general, feeling different on different bows. I could believe it. I think it depends on the geometry of the riser, because some of them have different angles of flex. Some risers are a lot straighter than others, and some are more have more of a flex to them. So I feel like limbs would feel different, even if it is the same pair of limbs. Possibly like it's hard to say. I've shot the MK limbs. I've shot these MK limbs on my GMX before, but it's two different brands, so I do notice a difference. I do notice a difference on the GMX. I like the MKX10 better, but I never really thought of it that way. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if, say, we'll just use, like, I don't know, win and win limbs on a win and win riser could possibly feel better than, say, win and win limbs on a Hoyt riser, but I feel like you'll get the same results if you did like Hoyt limbs on a win and win riser or something like that. I think every brand is that way, and I don't think it's a particular brand that they're going to feel different, because you figure the engineers are designing the bow to what they have, because they're expecting you to buy, matching limbs and risers. And I don't know, maybe I'm missing the point there, but yeah, I've done some switching around, but only on two risers. The only two I've switched equipment on is GMX and this bow down here, the MKX10, and they both feel pretty similar. I like the MKX10 a little bit better, but then again, I was only switching between, well, I have two sets of MK limbs, but just MK limbs on either an MK riser or a Hoyt riser. So I haven't really had a lot of testing with like different brands. I haven't tried like Hoyt limbs on this bow, or win and win limbs on this riser. So I don't have the best knowledge there. 72 arrow, 70 meter personal best. Was it last year? I think I shot it last year. Like 637. And then I know I shot them. It was actually like a double 70 tournament. I think I shot like a 635 or something the first 72, and then we shot another 72 after lunch, and then that was a 637. So it was actually a double PB in one day. Yeah, that was good times. That was in a tournament. At home I've shot that, you know, like now, but I haven't quite gotten back to that point. Not that necessarily my form was better, because I feel like a year ago my form is not as good as it is now. But since I've made so many changes, it's a matter of being, you know, just very confident in it, and just knowing, all right, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to hit that target. And I'm pretty much there, but I do need to work on it more practice, and you know, we're still improving my form. Like, I'm working on my finger today because it really does help my consistency. So I'm hoping that I can set some new personal bests in the future. I would love to get into, well, a great goal for me, I would love to get into the 650s. I really want to work towards that. It would be fun to be able to shoot it'd be fun to shoot a score at a tournament that would at least get me into like the top, I don't know, like 40 or 50, like 40 archers at a World Cup. So I probably need to shoot into like the 660s to know that I would qualify at a World Cup to shoot head-to-head eliminations. That would be fun. Of course, that would also put me in a good spot to actually make the U.S. World Cup team. So the two do go hand in hand. But yes, that's what I'm working towards, and I got more work to do to get there, but I definitely feel like I'm on my way, even though I have shot at this point in time some higher scores at tournaments than I currently am. I just feel like I'm making better shots now, and I'm making them more consistently and more often. It's just a matter of time before all that work just starts really showing downfield and in my ranking and everything. We have a lot of bugs in the woods here. So, if you guys see me do weird things, you know why. And they're big. They're like a good, some of them got to be a good like ½ inch. And they got big teeth, and yeah, it's a good adventure. It's really solid distraction training. I'm gonna have to lease out space to the Korean national team, and they'll need this for their add to their mental game. Oh, all right. So when I'm pulling the string back, do I use my bicep to put press the string against my lips? No. Okay. So, and actually, I think let's see, Wendy, I think you just asked this question on my latest was it Mackenzie video? So I'll answer it here for you. All right. So for me, and I'm not saying this is the same for other archers, but from what I've been taught from my coach, is that your arm's not really doing a lot of work. It's all in the shoulder, and especially your back. You know, you do have like your tricep back here. That's going to help like guide the string. But let's see. So you're drawing back. I'm not using any arm here. It's all scapula and my back shoulder and my tricep back here. And then this is still back. And then it just gets brought in because I'm squeezing. I'm squeezing back. Let's see. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you can really see that well on the camera, but in order to bring it to my face, I'm just moving my scapula and stuff to my back, like the back of my back. I'm putting it kind of flat against my back, and it's bringing my hand that's, you know, out here into my face. I hopefully that was a good, a good explanation. But that's it's kind of the best I can do at the time. Of course, you do want to, you know, hold things strong. Like for me, one of my big weaknesses is not holding my wrist and my hand in the correct position. And I'll, instead of staying more like this, I guess, you know, where you see a slight bend, I'll end up going in, and then that causes me to have to use my especially my front shoulder more and my bicep to shoot the shot, and you don't want that. So I would say basically your bicep's just there for some support because it's part of your whole, you know, the whole system of this, you know, how your arm works. But is it actually like shooting the shot or anything like that? I would say no. It's just there. It needs to be there because it's just, you know, it has a job to do, but it's not the key muscle or muscles that are actually getting you to draw that bow back and then shoot a good shot with it. Yeah, see that one? That one I felt like I was slipping, so I went forward a little bit more. And it shot right away. And it's funny because a lot of it, for me at least, it seems a lot of the shot is just about having proper positioning of the body. Like, you can like muscle through something, but it's funny how it's like, oh, you know, oh, my hand shifted or my finger kind of shifted out a little bit. If I shift it back, it's like, oh, I can click through this now without an issue. It's really interesting how like simple things go from, or how easily things go from being a struggle to being, oh, this is a piece of cake. I got this. I'm gonna start melting out here soon. I think it's in like the mid-80s already. It's probably gonna go a lot higher than that today. It's only like 10 o'clock here too. So I wouldn't be surprised if it hits you know, into the 90s. If yeah, I don't think we'll get to triple digits, but I could definitely see us well into the 90s by lunchtime today. It's going pretty good. Oh, well, you're welcome, Wendy. I'm glad I could help you out from at least, you know, my experience and what I've seen. Now, I do feel like there is some, like, top archers and stuff that do use their bicep. I don't know. And, like, okay, so they shoot well, and there's not really anybody in particular that comes to mind. But I feel like I've watched some people on World Archery's videos, and I've been like, what? Huh? What are they doing? And they make it work. So I feel like you could shoot with your bicep if you're willing to put the work in and you have some way to transfer it still to your back. Because I really don't see you clicking through the clicker and stuff consistently if you don't use your back and you just use your bicep. All right, that went pretty well. I'm gonna go down and pick those up now, and I will be back once I get a drink.
Fix the audio.
All right, I'm back. All right, so yeah, Martin made out a pretty good point with Jake saying that he used, was using his bicep a little bit. And again, I think it comes back to there's a basic concept generally for archery, and then it's working that to work for you. Like there's definitely some basic things that need to be about that are about the same on anybody. Like you look at all the top shooters, and there's some things they all kind of do the same, and then each one has their own little unique quirk, just from the years of shooting, and then who taught them, or how many different people tried to teach them, and maybe the country they're from, or just who they are, how their body is, and things like that. And they just add these little things in, maybe not even intentionally. It's just something that works a little bit better for them, and then it works out. That's not saying that you shouldn't so you necessarily don't want to come up with totally your own form, but at the same point in time, being 100% by the book probably won't ever happen either, because it's a book and they're using Well, sometimes they use actual people in them, but half the time it's drawn figures, and yeah, most people don't match up to those spot on. So yeah, it's somewhere in between. It's kind of doing your own thing, but at the same point in time following some of the more basic rules and concepts. Oh, the birds where I live? Yeah, the birds over here are crazy. Some of them fly ridiculously close too. Like, I don't know if they're just, like, they forget we're like, 'cause I feel like generally animals like see humans and they run away. But like, I don't know, because, you know, of standing so still while shooting, they like forget, oh, people alert. And they'll fly. I've had ones that that have flown like right past my head. You can actually feel like the wind going by. I've had hummingbirds that have flown like right in front of my sight, like inches at full draw. There's been some crazy instances with birds where I live. But yeah, all the sounds they make, it's good because they're very random. And yeah, it's good to be able to just like tune all that out. Another thing that's fascinating with that too is, even if I'm shooting 70 meters all the way back there, those birds are smart enough. And I'm talking about doing this. I've been shooting 70 from there for like 5 years plus, probably longer than that. And none of them have ever, gotten hit. Knock on wood. But the ones that have come close, I swear they actually see the arrow, or they feel the disturbance of it coming down. I've actually seen several of them dodge it midair. You'll see them do like a barrel roll. They'll roll under the arrow or they'll roll over it. It's really, really interesting to watch. I'm assuming, I guess maybe they hear it coming. I don't know if they exactly see it. It's pretty quick and they react like spot on. But yeah, it's fascinating. Like, I'm glad I haven't hit any of them, but the ones that have been close calls, we got bugs. Yeah, they've always just like done these like crazy tricks over and around the arrow. Front finger was I was not holding it as well on that one. I was kind of fighting it a little bit. It's like the ultimate catch-22 here. You sweat because your body's hot, so it wants to cool off, and then the sweat attracts the bugs that want to eat you. We have a good amount of people on, so update. I'm gonna try to do live streams more in the morning. We're not gonna have a set time. The 12:30 set time was nice in a way, but I kept having I've had a lot of things come up and stuff like that, and then trying to say, oh, everybody, I'm gonna be on at this time. It wasn't working out the best, so mornings are better, but I don't want to have a set time in the morning. So probably somewhere around 9:30, 10 o'clock, but nothing like set in stone. Just that I'm still going to be trying to do these every day as much as possible, you know, weather permitting and things like that. But yeah, I just wanted to keep everybody updated. And I'll probably just, you know, keep giving updates like this for the next couple live streams in a row, just so that, you know, hopefully people that have watched it in the past see this again and go, oh, okay, that's what he's up to. So yeah, it just works out a lot better for me, especially if I'm going to try to keep doing this for a really long period of time. All right, I'm back. Let's shoot another end. not the best in the release department.
Wonder what it was.
Yeah. Ah, there we go. That one shot nice and smooth. I see your thumb. The thumb of my draw hand is straight. Okay, so it's not supposed to be straight like this. It's supposed to be more like a C shape. At least for me, that's what my coach has me do. Giant bug. And I'm supposed to maintain this positioning all the way back to the draw, and then have that space stay. Because if I let my thumb collapse inwards like this, then it causes my wrist to bend inwards, and then I lose all the tension, in my back, and it doesn't allow me to really use my back efficiently to shoot the shot. So yeah, I do still have sometimes a habit of letting that thumb go in, because for years I was always told, oh, just leave it, let it rest like this here, and it works, but it caused me to shoot with my wrist more bent in, and then that caused a whole bunch of other problems. So basically, if you can make it work with your thumb in, all the power to you. But for me, I've caused a lot of problems for myself by doing it that way and being told by other people to do it that way in the past. So I find keeping that C shape to the best of my ability definitely allows for a better shot. Yeah, see that one went off great. you can have a gap between your hand and your chin. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but basically, and I don't know if this is perfect or not, but basically I'll have, when I get to full draw, I'll have a little gap right in this section here, right in this section here, because of that C shape. And my coach has told me that that is perfectly fine. You know, some people's it's tighter or wider than others based on like their hand and then like how they're you know, putting it into their face and how their face is, because you know, everybody's face is a little bit different, and jaw lines and things like that. But yeah, that should answer your question pretty well. All right. Good, going pretty good. All right, so that was all my arrows. Get a drink here, kill some bugs, and pick up the arrows so that we can shoot another end. Right, I made it back. We have plane training here too. We actually have a really small airport nearby, and we actually get all these like single or dual prop planes, mostly single prop planes that that cruise around, and people get like tours of the coast and things like that. Oh, they do have, I guess they do have a slightly bigger plane. They actually do, what was it, parachuting? Or skydiving, there we go. There's the word, skydiving out of those planes and things like that. Pretty neat. But another like random thing that just comes out of nowhere. Especially since some of these people are like in training, so some will fly kind of low. Lower than you might want. I'm guessing they're still, you know, legally above, I guess, the minimum height limit. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, you'll be at like full drawing here. So, yeah, more distraction training. Alright, shooting pretty good. Probably going to be hot like this at Nationals in Ohio. So in a way, this is like, you know, it's kind of brutal, but in a way, it's a good brutal, because yeah, it's probably going to be hot, as hot as this, maybe even hotter in Ohio for Nationals and Buckeye Classic. So at least I'm getting some kind of practice in for that. You know, just keeping my cool, and shooting my shot. Even though I feel like right now I'm swimming in a swimming pool, shooting my bow. But hey, you know, just gotta play the cards you're dealt, right? Can't change the weather, at least not yet. Not the best. My finger gave up a little bit, and then I kind of squeezed it a little bit more, and well, suddenly I could shoot the shot really easily. So that wasn't exactly the one I wanted, but yeah, you know, we should probably avoid trying to change the weather too much. That might be a bad idea. But yeah, you know, you got to do that struggle training. Beats walking in the snow. Yeah, see, look, that one again, I squeezed my finger a little bit better because I gave it up a little bit, and then I was right on, boom, and shot really nice. So obviously I don't want to be doing that, you know, at a tournament, but at least I've gotten to the point where when my finger does relax, I would say like 9 out of 10 times, maybe a little bit even better than that, I realize, I can feel the pressure change. And then the fact that you know, it slacked off and it wasn't holding, and then I know I can fix it, and I think that's good. I think that's a really good step, because if you can't recognize that you have a problem with something, then how can you go about fixing it? So I'm really happy that I can pretty much recognize every single time my finger, you know, doesn't hold, that, oh, okay, well, we got to fix this. You know, we set down, you know, redo the shot. All right.